Good afternoon. Hope all is well with everybody. Felt good to get some time off. We had a bye week. Myself, I caught up on a lot of sleep. Feels good, but probably too much sleep because now I'm full of energy this week. But feels good to be back. We got a very physical opponent that's coming in. Got the utmost respect for this team and the utmost respect for this head coach. They've done a hell of a job. With that said, I'm all ears.
It's been a while since San Francisco game, first time we chatted with you since. Was that kind of what you envisioned going into the season, that it all fitting together like the way it did in that game?
You know what? I thought our guys did a great job of playing team football. Everybody found a way to contribute. I thought everybody stepped up. You know, hats off to our coaching staff. Our guys did a heck of a job of getting our guys ready. And the thing that I love about it is that everybody has a piece of the pie. And so that's been huge. I think our guys are starting to hit a stride. We just need to make sure that we can get back in sync and in rhythm after coming off a bye.
And how much does it take you guys as coaches to, I mean, obviously you see these guys in training camp and OTAs and stuff like that, but when they're new faces, how long does it take you guys to really get a feel for strengths and put them in the right spots?
It takes a while, but that's why we have the off season. We have our OTAs. We also we have training camp. You know, Pat does a great job with those guys, spending time with them when he can, just to develop that chemistry. And it's still a work in progress. So the thing that we want to continue to do is to continue building off of what we have right now. And the thing about it, like I said, everybody's going to contribute. Everybody has a piece of the pie. We just got to continue to play hard, play fast, and understanding that every play is by far the most important.
Coach had said that you guys wanted to get Isaiah Pacheco more touches, and so that's why he was kind of up first. How did you guys come to that conclusion, and why the change there from Clyde first? I know it's still committee.
Yeah. Well, first of all, all those guys are going to play, and at the end of the day, we're counting on those guys to contribute. We have a number of discussions that we have behind closed doors that I'm not going to disclose, but everybody has an important role. So we're counting all those guys to do their part. So it doesn't make a difference who starts the game or who finishes the game. When they're in there, we want them to contribute. Because when it's all said and done with, and I say this, and you guys have heard me say this, it's not about the numbers, okay? It's about the alphabets. And the only alphabet that matters is the W. So whatever we need to do to put our guys in position to be the best that they can possibly be so we can accomplish the goal. And just like I said, we know the goal is to get that alphabet.
You got a new wide receiver out there, Kadarius Toney. Your first day of practice with him yesterday. What stood out to you about most about him?
You know what? I thought the kid did a good job. Obviously, you know, we're not going to exhaust him. Kid's a very good football player, but we just want to make sure that he can mix in with our guys because we have some good players that are doing a very good job. We want the chemistry to work. Obviously, we still got to get some timing up with Pat. But as far as a football player, the kid's a heck of a player. The kid's a very, very smart kid. And we just want him to fit in our culture and basically understand what we do and then put him in position to have an opportunity to be his best. But
I'm sorry, one of the reputations that I guess is out there about him was he was a little bit nicked up, wasn't healthy enough to play in New York. A couple different coaching staffs weren't able to get him on the field and encourage him. How important is it when you guys are your culture here that if you can play, even if you're not 100%, you got to get out there and play and practice? And did that reputation come with him?
Let me just say this, okay? The kid he just got here, and the kid is a very, very good kid. And obviously, whatever was said out there in New York, that was said out there in New York. This kid's a part of our family now. Our receiver room has accepted him. Our team has accepted him. And we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that he feels comfortable and confident in anything that he can do to help us to be at our best. And a part of that is just making sure that he's okay. We don't want to rush the kid into anything. We want to make sure that he's good with our language and how we do things. But on top of that, we got a good group of receivers. We got a good group of players on offense who's doing a heck of a job of teaching him. But on top of that, making sure that, you know, that, like I said, it's about the chemistry, doing what is best for us.
Eric, do you feel like he gives you something that maybe you didn't have otherwise in your receiving group?
I feel that he adds value to our team to help us to focus on our goal.
How does he do that?
He adds value as a receiver. And I'll say this, He's a part of our group. And I just want everybody to understand this. Okay, you know I'm not going to sit here and say this player, this. No, he's a part of our culture now. He's a part of our team. The thing that we'll do, we'll work on finding ways to make sure that we can put him in situations where he can be at his best. Right now, we're still trying to figure that out. And when that happens, I guess that's when I had that answer, Adam.
What about his ability to run after the catch? Not that you don't have guys already who can do that, but is that one area where he stands out to you?
I think a lot of our guys stand out after the catch, and that's what we want. We always want the best football players, all right, that can help us to contribute. But prior to that, let me just go back and say this. We always want the best people that happen to be the best football players that understands the importance of why we're here. We're here to do what? We're here to win the Super Bowl, okay? We're here to win the AFC West. We're here to make sure that we can focus all of our attention on the now, living in the present moment and not getting caught up on everything. So, yes, all right, I think that we have the best people who happen to be the best football players. And it's our job as coaches to make sure that we can utilize, you know, all the different talents to help us to accomplish our goals.
Eric, when you said you're still getting to know him, what is that process? I'm sure during the bye week it helps, right? But, I mean, Brett and his crew look over tape before a guy gets here. I'm sure you don't really do that until after you make the trade. So can you kind of walk us through just the process of trying to get to know a guy, whether it's him or anybody else?
And here's the thing. I'll say this. Obviously, he came out a couple of years ago, so we had an opportunity to see him because he was one of the more higher-rated receivers coming out during that time. So we had an idea of who he was as a player. And so that's the beauty of it. Obviously, the kid is a very talented kid. For whatever reason, it didn't work out in New York. Sometimes a change of address is good for a number of reasons. So we're hoping that a change of address is good for this kid.
Do you immediately pop in, tape yourself, and start going through his back games and all that stuff to try and see how he might fit?
You know what? Not really. And I say this not to be rude or anything. I say that because we're so focused on the present. You know, our job is to make sure that our guys are ready for Tennessee. And obviously, you know, last week was last week, but still, our focus was on Tennessee and, you know, just making sure that we're getting the best game plan ready. So,
Eric, I think statistically, and tell me if I'm right, but I believe you guys are first in the league in red zone efficiency. What has been the reason for that success so far, and how much does Pat allow you guys to be so successful in the red zone?
well, I'll say this, okay? All the numbers are great, all the ratings are great, but the thing that I love is that as a staff, our guys do a heck of a job, okay? We got some good coaches that help collaborate, and our guys are doing a heck of a job of basically executing when put in those situations. So I think more than anything, that's been helpful, but I'm going to just say this. I hate discussing. I'm not about the numbers. I don't care where we are ranked. It's about where we finish. And when we are in those areas, okay, it's our job to make sure that we're being efficient and maximizing the opportunity.
I guess to me, Eric, it appears in the red zone, under those sort of condensed spaces, it looks like Patrick's footwork and timing in the pocket has improved from last year. I guess, A, is that the case, and how much of that is necessary versus obviously being in the middle of the field where you can scramble and have maybe more opportunities?
Pat's doing a hell of a job, but more importantly, our guys are doing a hell of a job. Everybody's playing fast. Everybody has a complete understanding. And just like I said, as a coaching staff, we're growing together. We're collaborating. Ball is coming out faster. We're able to make things happen a little quicker. It's been a unique situation, but I'm going to just knock on wood because Nate, you done brought it up. You know, we don't want to worry about those numbers right now. Our guys are playing hard. They're doing an efficient job when placed in that area. We want to make sure that we continue being as efficient as we need to.
Eric, I know there's been, a lot of numbers out there about, coming back, how great with Patrick. You guys have been coming back from double-digit deficits and everything, but you're digging a deficit there. It's twofold, it's not just offense and defense too, right? It's whole team game, but is there something as to why? I mean, I know there's more going on in those early play calls than just trying to move the ball. You're kind of probing the defense, seeing what it is, but is there a reason why maybe it's not clicking as much as fast as maybe you have in other years?
You know what? I think because we have so many competitive people who happen to be on our team, sometimes you can naturally just be a little bit too overhyped. and end up taking yourselves out of situations. And that's why it's important. I always talk to our guys about this. Don't worry about what just took place. Let's worry about what's about to happen next. We can't worry about some of the spilled milk that may have taken place over the past few plays. It's okay. At the end of the day, what are you going to do now to help us to be efficient moving forward? And I think our guys they do a great job of living in the now, but on top of that, they understand, regardless of what took place, it's all about the next play. And I know that sounds simple, but our guys do a great job of focusing on the now.
Is part of it that, to use a boxing term, you guys are kind of counter punchers? You got to kind of see what the game plan is, and then from there, you get to the part of the play sheet that works against what they're doing?
I think a part of it too, and I don't know why we don't like giving credit to the other teams. Those guys do a hell of a job too, and they get paid. And just like I discussed about this head coach, I have the utmost respect for him. Respected him as a player, watch his career over the years, and then watching him as a coach. They do a hell of a job. And you got to understand that we would love to go out there and beat everybody 100-0, but that's not realistic. So we have to have the ability, speaking in boxing terms, to take punches, okay? But also have the ability to recover and making sure that we're good going into that next round. So at the end of the day, it's about our job, about our guys focusing in the moment. That's all. Okay? Thank you, guys.